record. Okay, so we are recording. Okay, so tonight, you guys, we're going to share some things on social media etiquette. And there was a post that Tammy had done, and she posted it on the team pages, so I shared it. And it's just a few do's and don'ts, and these are just examples of things that, you know, have either worked for some people, haven't worked for others. So we were going to kind of go through some of them. And then, like I said, we'll just kind of give examples and leave this open to kind of maybe help everybody out, help our teams out, give them some good suggestions what some of this means. So I'll just read them. There's 11 different tips. And then I can kind of give an example. You guys can give an example, what you may have seen others do, what's worked for you, whatever. The first one is do not post or comment, "May I share?" And this, I think, is a really good explanation. This alerts your audience that someone is selling something. If you share a post, be sure to leave a comment on that person's post telling them thanks for sharing. Now, what they mean by "may I share" is Facebook is really funny about, we all run our businesses through Facebook. That's just the way it is. But we're not supposed to. Facebook doesn't want us to, so we're not supposed to look like we're selling something on Facebook, because Facebook is really good about filtering that out of our walls and it not showing up to people. So if we put "may I share" in the comments under somebody's too, it kind of takes that away from that post too, and lets their audience know, their friends and family know, that they are kind of, sharing, selling, whatever, but they're posting something about, that they have. And that really alerts Facebook, and it just kind of takes it away from the whole post. So it's always good to just PM them if you feel like you want to ask, "Can I share this?" That's something I always recommend. But one thing we all are good about, I know all of you guys that are on the call, we don't even have to ask this. This is just something we've all learned being with Plexus for a while, that, hey, if it's shared by somebody, most of the time, it's free game to go ahead and share it. And anything I post is for you guys to share. It's for my sidelines, anybody to share. The only thing I will recommend, and Lori can attest to this because it's such a funny story, is make sure you read to all the way to the end, because Lori shared one of my posts one time, and it talked about my husband, Scott. And so we got a good thing out of it. So she reposted it. It's her husband, Scott, but so it's a good example that just make sure if it's personalized somewhere in there, to definitely redo some of that. The second one, and do you guys have any feedback on that as far as "may I share"? That's pretty self-explanatory on that. Okay. Number 2, do not ask someone what products they are using on a post. Again, private message them for their regimen. This is kind of the same thing, is because it kind of takes away from that post. And I have different feelings about this, because sometimes it's brought up some good things for some customers to see or prospects to see in a comment that, oh, they're taking these products. And I've had people that have asked, "Jeannie, should I get on this product then if they have cholesterol issues, or whatever," because they've seen what this person that has cholesterol issues, what products they're on. So that one, that's kind of a fine line. It does kind of take away from the post, but again, I think it brings up good conversation, in my opinion, too. So any comments on that you guys want to make? Or okay.
I agree.
Okay. Number 3, do not leave comments saying a particular product or regimen is not working for you. This draws negativity to a post, our products, and our company. Usually if somebody does that, I delete the comment ASAP, as quick as I find it, because it is just flat out rude, pretty much. Even though something may not work for you, it's just not right to comment on somebody else's post that didn't work for you. That's better left just kept to yourself, or PM them, or, let your sponsor know, whatever. But don't leave any comments on somebody else's post. So I think that's a huge no. Hello guys to the rest of you that are joining too. We're going through some, I am recording this as well, you guys, but we're going through some social media etiquette and some different steps. So I'm just leaving all of you guys unmuted. So please, if you guys have any comments, we're just going through these and, you know, put in your 2 cents on this. But a couple of, number 4 is, this is a big one too, is ditch posting message me in your post. I used to do this all the time when I first started, because that's what kind of everybody did, was message me for more information. But then as Facebook changed, and it's one of those big red flags for Facebook, and they see that and they know that you are trying to sell something. So that is another big one that they will filter. And most people will not see your post when you put message me. So it's a good thing. It's kind of unpersonalized too. So it's just gotten better results by not putting messaging. So that's another. Number 5, and it says, and this is a big one, do not add your web link to your post or in the comments. This is not compliant with Plexus and is against Facebook regulations. We are not supposed to sell on Facebook like we were talking about. So this is your website. So
we can't, not the comments?
Say that again?
We can't do it in the comments?
No, and that's what I just read today. The reason is because it's against Facebook regulations. And remember, we used to be able to, you could put it in the comments, and now they don't want us putting it in the comments, our website. So, yes. And I think a lot of this goes back to keeping it compliant. This is big time compliance, because any of the posts, when we put our website out there, even if it's a testimony that's, it's compliant approved, but it used to go back to, and this is going to confuse some of you, so I don't want to confuse you, but when you have a testimony that says, hey, it's just strictly weight loss, somebody lost 30 pounds, and on those, we are actually allowed to put our website, because that's compliant with what Plexus says that we can help, that the Plexus products help with. So if it's, weight loss, blood sugar, cholesterol, lipid levels, anything like that Plexus has on the bag that is okay for us to talk about, with Facebook, we could do that. But now we can't, because Facebook red flags it, and they will throw it out. Anytime there is a website now on your post or in the comments, it gets thrown out. So I tell everybody, don't even do it, just to make it easier. Don't even put your website anywhere. Now, one thing I've done that is really cool is I went to GoDaddy.com, and I did my own link there, which I have Rock Your Health and Wealth, and it's tied to my website. So I can put that in a hashtag on my post, because it's not a website. So I can do hashtag rockyourhealthandwealth.com. Anybody can click on it and it directs to my website. But I don't do that often. Yes. So you can go to GoDaddy, check that out. You can get your own URL, and it will redirect. You set it up to direct back to your website. And it's fun to use on Instagram, and all that too, because the hashtags are huge. Then you have that hashtag of your, URL. So that's another big thing you can do. That's one big thing I suggest. Otherwise, just don't even post your website. Does anybody have any comments or questions on that?
Yeah. Is there a fee on that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Tina, go ahead. Let me check, Marcin. I can't remember. Go ahead, Tina.
If you have a business page.
Yes.
And you have the website on a post and you share it to your Facebook.
It's okay. This is what I will say about that. Because you guys know I don't use my business page at all anymore, because nobody sees them.
I thought somebody else might want to know.
Yeah, no, and that's a good post. It's a good question. I mean, no, I still don't recommend it because it's still, when you're putting it on your Facebook wall, of course they filter all of the business. You know, I just don't even do it because nobody sees your posts on your business page. So I don't even post there, but if you share it with that website, it does the same thing. Facebook just kicks it out. So
Hey, Jeannie.
Oh,
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
This is straight from Vincent Orlick, who is our social media guy
Yes.
and used to work for Facebook. Actually, he said even on business pages, not to post it there. You already have it. It's already like linked on your business page. And honestly, people who clicks on those anyways, they usually message you.
Mhm.
So
Exactly. I have not posted on my business page, and I cannot tell you how long, because it just does, nobody sees it. You can see how many people, and I was getting to where I had like 2 people out of, over 1,000 friends it was reaching. So it was bad.
exactly.
It was really
Yeah.
bad. Facebook at the beginning, it was good, but then they completely changed that. So yeah. Any other questions, comments on that, you guys?
Gene, I'd like to say that I used to use Tiny Torch a lot,
Okay.
and Facebook really tightened that up too.
Okay.
So I quit using. You could copy and paste into it, and
Yeah.
you can't even do that anymore. You have to actually type everything into it.
Okay.
That was pretty good for a while, but not now.
And then
Just
they
wanted-
figured it out. Thank you,
Yeah.
Marcy. I'm glad you shared that. And they do. That's like our business pages were great for a little while, and then Facebook said, no more, because everybody was doing that. And then we kind of got tricky and said, well, we'll just put our websites on the business pages because we could at one time, and that was through compliance. And then, yeah, you can, but it gets filtered out through Facebook. So they are always ahead of the game, unfortunately. So thank you
I'm
for
with
that.
Jimmy, though. I don't think that 95% of the people, I don't post my website, but I've done it a couple times. Nobody goes there.
No.
They go right to my messages and ask me. They don't go right to my website
right.
ever. I have absolutely 0 hits after a year and a half on my Shop Now button.
Exactly.
Me, I go there, but nobody else does. So it's really pointless.
That's right. It is. And that's a good point too, because just like you were saying too, and over 2.5 years, everybody has messaged me. I think I've had 1 or 2 orders of people that have just ordered without contacting me. So that's the way I look at it with all this Facebook stuff, you guys too, is want to do your posts like you're not sharing, and they are going to contact you. They want to know what products to be on, all of that. So you may have a couple that'll just order, but most of them are going to contact you. So yes. Okay. This is also another, let's see. Okay. Be consistent, of course. We all know this. People are watching. That's a huge one, you guys, is being consistent. I will tell you guys after 2 years. And is there background noise real bad, you guys? Can you hear it, or is it okay? Do you want me to mute or?
Well, I don't want to spend if it's your money.
If you guys have any background noise, we can hear all of it. So make sure and mute yourself if you are having a conversation. Okay, we'll keep going. It's not as bad as on Dusty's, and somebody flushed the toilet that one time and then washed their hands, and we were all rolling. So sorry, had to put that in there. Don't do that when you're on Zoom. Everybody can hear whatever's going on. Okay, back to consistency. This is such a big one. I cannot stress enough, and this is from my own experience, is in the 2.5 years I've done this, over that I have stayed consistent, pretty much every day. There's been a couple days I've missed, but not very many. What this does is it lets people know that you are passionate about this, you're serious about this, you're not going anywhere, And Plexus isn't going anywhere. And it shows your audience that. It shows them that this is not just a gimmick that you're into. This is a new fad that you're doing. It shows them that this is real and they start paying attention. Remember that it takes 6 exposures for people to take you serious and start actually reading your posts. It takes 6 exposures on average. After over 2.5 years, I have people still contacting me today that have been watching my posts for years, and they are just now, you know, either ordering Plexus or joining with me. So it's just not the right time, you know, for them. Everybody does this at the right time for them. And if you stay consistent, it's going to be the right time for them eventually. But don't give up. Another thing we were talking about on people message you is there is not very many people that will like your posts, that will comment on your posts. I have had people that have not liked or commented. Most of my likes come from ambassadors. They just don't want others to know that they are commenting about Plexus or liking about Plexus. So it's all private message. We'll get private messages. So don't worry if you're posting and you are getting no likes, because I never got a like for the longest time. It was all private messages. So staying consistent, you guys, and posting daily is so important. The next one, always be positive. And this is another good one. Your personal page should read as your business page. Attitude is caught, not bought. And I love this because sometimes I'll see somebody that's just commenting, you know, posting all these negative things on Facebook. And when you're trying to build a business and, you know, you have a really good opportunity business-wise, great products, people get turned off. I know I do when I see people constantly posting negative stuff. Every now and then, yeah, we all do that, but we try to keep it as positive as we can.
Yeah,
share that negative stuff, you know, somewhere else.
You need to look at that paperwork to see.
So we need to. Let me try to mute everybody. Hold on, you guys. We still have a lot of background noise.
The new thing. So I just found out that I'm eligible for Medicaid.
Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. If you want to talk, just unmute yourself. So, anyways, being positive is so important on Facebook because that attracts people, and that attracts, you know, the right people to you, and they want to see that, you know, you're doing good. And like I said, we all have bad days, but it's just there's a time and a place to do that. So I know it's a big turnoff when I see people that are just constantly posting negative things, you know, and, you know, if you're having a bad day, maybe don't post that day, you know, because Facebook, I don't feel personally is the place to do that. And so, you know, just stay positive in your posts, and people, like I said, really draw to that, and they're going to contact you. They're going to remember that. You know, they may be thinking about it, and then all of a sudden they see a negative post, and it's a big turnoff for them. So just stay positive. I think that's a super important one. Does anybody have any comments, questions, anything on that they want to share? Okay. Engage with your audience. That's another one, especially non-Plexus friends. And this is a good one, like commenting on, you know, when people have a birthday. I try every day to go check all my friends that have a birthday and wish them happy birthday, and just engaging with them, liking their posts, commenting on their posts. Because what this does a lot of times, you guys, is when you comment on somebody's post, they're like, Jeannie, you know, she's doing that Plexus stuff. I meant to ask her about that. Or it triggers them, I was going to order something, or, you know, and then it happens a lot. So it's really good to just engage with your non-Plexus audience. And of course we want to, because they are our friends, they're our family. So you don't want to just be commenting and liking and, you know, on ambassadors, because it's very easy to do. And my news feed is filled with ambassadors. So it's very hard for me to find my non-Plexus people some days. So I have to go to a separate thing, find them, and then, you know, I want to engage with them. I want to know what's going on in their life. I want to, you know, be a part of them, and not just I'm just all about, you know, the ambassadors. You know what I mean? So it's good to just engage with them and wish them happy birthday, happy anniversaries. You know, it's very easy to get caught up in doing our plexus throughout the day, and we kind of forget to do that. So that's a really good point. Okay. The next one, balance your posts. Don't make everything about plexus. Connect to people's hearts by telling stories. And this is another big one. You want to throw in some personal posts throughout the day. You don't want it to just be all day about plexus, which has been hard for me this month, I will admit, because I have been putting a lot of plexus out there. But it's just an exciting month, and they're just with the promotions and everything going on, you know, I've been really going crazy with it. But I've been trying to share other things and put personal things in there as well. And so what this does is it gets people to engage with you too. When you put in a non-plexus post, maybe ask, I love the ones about like, hey, my vacuum broke down. You know, what do you guys suggest is a good vacuum? That's a great one, because then you get people commenting and you see how many people are actually watching your posts, because you will get all of these comments from non-plexus people, and it's pretty neat to see that. They're engaging with you. So it's a great thing to do, you know, hey, what mascara do you guys like? Jimmy Lee did that one time and got like a ton of comments on mascara, you know, but it was a perfect opportunity to engage with all those plexus and non-plexus people. So, okay. This is a big one too. Avoid using ads for posts. They set off an alarm on Facebook and is potentially bad for your business, and Facebook doesn't like ads. So when I first started again, before we really knew how to, you know, kind of do a lot of this in the ins and outs, I posted a lot of graphics. And I had a whole bunch of them saved. Now, of course, this month it's been different with the promotion graphics and stuff. That's a lot different. But graphics that we have on, you know, saying what plexus does, you don't want to do that constantly. Once in a while is good, but I will tell you, a lot of the upper ranked ambassadors, they tell you only maybe do one, you know, maybe once a week, every now and then, because it really puts up another red flag to your audience and they don't read your posts, and as well as Facebook. But for your audience, they know you're trying to sell them something. So the biggest thing you can do is trying to tell a story, and, you know, tell about, you know, what plexus has done for you today, you know, how you slept, you know, if you have any energy, or just something simple. And like that is the best. It doesn't have to be a big long post, but you definitely want to try to keep the graphics out of there. Again, it filters, and it doesn't look like you're sharing. It looks like you're selling. And that's one thing with plexus, is we share, don't sell. So I've pretty much gotten rid of a lot of my graphics. The graphics I do like, you guys, are the product graphics. You know, when you're talking about a product and it has a little bit more information from the Plexus Power Tools. And if you guys have not gotten on there, any of you, plexuspowertools.com, it's $10 for a year, and I highly recommend going and paying that $10. There's tons of graphics that are all compliance approved, and there is a whole bunch of files as well on there that you can use. There's just a ton of information. But the graphics now with compliance, we have to have a approval code at the bottom to be able to post them. So all those are, and they're very simple. So, but you know, it's fun for the holidays too, to post some graphics and stuff once in a while. That it gets really fun this time of year, but just don't do them all the time. So, okay, this was one that, and I'm gonna unmute you guys, because we'll see if we don't have a whole lot of, or maybe not. No, it's not letting me unmute you. Okay. All right. Do we still have background noise?
But I don't think it's.
Okay.
When
posting, you guys, this, I'm gonna have to mute you guys. We still have. Okay. Sorry, guys. Too much background noise. Okay. This was the big one that I got questioned on. When posting, try not using the words plexus. if you are consistent, people know you take and sell Plexus. Use hints to using the products, or in your personal story, you know, my secret isn't a secret, as an example. So I got asked about this, and what they mean is you can put Plexus in your posts. Absolutely. I do quite a bit, but you don't want to every post. You want to mix it up, because we are more sharing again, and we're telling a story. So we don't want to constantly, because what happens is a lot of times your audience will see the word Plexus in your post and they won't read it. They just automatically say, oh, she's doing another Plexus post, so I'm not going to read it. But if you tell a story and you don't put Plexus in there, you just say, you know, gosh, I slept so good last night and I had, you know, so much energy today, just a great day. Boom. That's all you have to say. You're going to probably get some people that are going to be messaging you, because like this says, when you've been posting for a while, they know what you're doing. They know that you are, you know, you're feeling great because you're on Plexus. So that's not a secret. So they just don't want, it's just not a good thing to always put Plexus in your post and kind of do it a little bit of telling your story. You know, there's some different things Lori Harrison did in our upline on this that was really good on how to tell stories with your posts, and you know, not make them such an ad and stuff. It was really good. Learned a lot on how to, you know, kind of start a post. And, you know, sometimes you don't want to ask a question on your first sentence, because that kind of flags people as, oh my gosh, you know, this is another Plexus post. You know, you're just telling a story, and then halfway through you've got them and they realize, oh my gosh, I've read this whole post, and, you know, and they're interested. You want it to be interesting. And another big thing I recommend is, before you hit post, is read that post. Read it a couple of times and make sure it's what you want to post, and that it's engaging and it's interesting to your audience. Who are you trying to capture this post with? Is it somebody that, you know, has a certain health issue? Is it certain people that you know, you would like to have on your team that would be great team builders? You know, make sure and just read your post before you post it. And I think that's always a good thing. I've really had to do that and learned the hard way. So that's what that means. And we talked to that. Okay. And then, of course, the next ones are just about doing one personal post and one Plexus post a day. So we kind of talked about that, you guys, on where you want to make sure and do one personal post, you know, and do a Plexus post per day at least. So you want to, again, mix that up, you know, do some non-Plexus posts in there as well. Okay, this was another one I got a question on, you guys. Twice a week, make a call to comment post. This generates interest and bumps post in a news feed. And Jimmy Lee, I'm going to have you talk about this, because you do a really good job on this. And the examples of this are like Tell Me Tuesday post. And this is where Jimmy does good, where she'll post, a lot of you guys do, you know, this is whatever day. So Jimmy, you want to talk about that a little, and if you don't mind?
Yeah, no, sometimes what I do is, say I notice somebody complaining about a migraine, or I have somebody ask me about Plexus about a migraine. That's usually when I pick to do it. Is I will post, you know, how many of my Plexus friends, you know, something about commenting if you've found relief with migraines, or say it has something to do with blood sugars or blood pressure, whatever. I do it related to that, and I go through and I tag my Plexus friends. I try to pick ones that I know have a testimony on that. And I also try to tag my team, because I want it showing up on my ambassadors' news feeds to help them out too. And I think because I have so many Plexus people on my Facebook, it gets commented a lot, and it keeps bumping it up in the news feed too. When you were talking, I was actually thinking about that. I think Whitney and maybe Casey Graham, a few of them, they kind of team up and comment on each other's Plexus posts, so it keeps bumping it up to the top. Do you remember at the party
Yep.
during convention where they talked about that.
Yes.
That was really awesome. So
It
I
is.
try to do that, you know, when I see another ambassador's post, I try to like it or comment on it.
Yep.
And I've tried to get better myself when somebody's commenting on mine to go back and comment, because if I comment, then it's going to bump it up there and keep it at the top too.
Exactly, Jimmy Lee. Exactly. Thank you. That was perfect example. And
You're
yeah, thank you. And Lori and I just did the same thing. Lori messaged me and said, hey, can you like my post so it stays in the news feed? And I commented on it. And so exactly. So we do that a lot back and forth to help it, you know, keep going. And exactly one thing that Tammy mentioned that Jimmy just said, she may not comment on somebody's post for another 2 or 3 days, because then it bumps that post back up in the news feed and then all your friends see it again. And so those are a lot of fun posts to do that Jimmy talked about. And she had a great point that when she tags her team, her downline and her team, it shows up in all of their news feeds as well. So their friends and family are seeing it and reading those comments if they would like. And it's a really fun, good thing to do. So yeah, excellent. Thank you, Jimmy. Go ahead.
Another thing that somebody did this weekend, which my poor friends, their news was blown up. Oh my gosh. But I had somebody message me Saturday night and said, hey, can you send me your testimony? And so she posted my testimony with the graphics that you did for me ranking up.
Awesome.
And put a little thing at the top of it, like, oh my gosh, she's 2 levels from getting her Lexus and this and that. And that was really neat that she thought of doing that. So
Absolutely.
I think, you know, like when we've got somebody that we know ranking up, definitely grab their testimony and do that.
And use it. That's excellent, Jimmy. And they've been doing a lot of that lately too, because there's been so many rank ups this month. I've seen a lot of the testimonies in with the graphics. So that's a great idea. Yeah. So if you guys see those around, or we can find that, you know, too, and send them to you guys, those are great things to share, because that's somebody, you know, you guys know is Jimmy. So it's awesome for our team to share, you know, each other's success. That's wonderful. Yeah. So perfect. Thanks, Jimmy. And anybody have any questions or comments on that one too? Because I know that was kind of a big one. Does everybody kind of understand that for the most part? Okay. All right. The last one, you guys, on this list, I like this one, is to expand your audience. Always network on purpose and aim to add 2 new people weekly. So what does this mean? This means when you're out and about and you meet somebody new, it's so much fun to ask them if they're on Facebook, and then you friend them. You don't even have to, you know, mention Plexus, as a lot of us have been told several times, but you kind of build that relationship with them, because building the relationship first is so important. And finding out, you know, maybe there's health issues they have, financial issues they have. Maybe there's nothing, but they're just looking for a new adventure and they'd love to join you and go meet people, you know, but you get them on Facebook and you start building that relationship, and they are going to see your posts. They're going to see information. So adding people to your Facebook weekly is huge. Going back through maybe your old high school friends, you know, college friends, whatever, and adding some more of them as a friend to get them on your Facebook so that they see your information talking about Plexus is big, because it really expands your audience. So I love doing that, because I've gained a lot of really good new friends by doing that as well, and seeing them. And like one gal I met when we were down in Tombstone, and she just came up and started talking to me and found out we had a whole lot in common. And so I just ended up, you know, we friended each other right there. It's gotten a lot easier for me because I think about it a lot, and I say, are you on Facebook? We find each other right there. Boom, we friend each other. So you've got a new friend, and who knows, she may be looking for these products or this business opportunity. So, okay, hopefully we won't have a whole lot. All right, and muted you guys. Any comments or anything on any of those, you guys, or anything anybody wants to add to any of that?
What was the name of your website again?
The GoDaddy one?
Yeah.
Sandra, yes, GoDaddy.com.
No, what's the name of yours?
Oh, mine's rockyourhealthandwealth.com. Yes. and Marcia, I looked it up, but I think it was free. Jimmy, do you remember if the GoDaddy.com is free?
You know what? I'm not sure. I haven't used it for Plexus. I use it for Pasting Community Kids, but I'm not sure if we've paid for that. It's something that Susie had set up prior to me being on the board.
How much was
Okay.
your website?
Okay. So I'm not sure, Marcia, I'll have to get back with you. But if you go on to GoDaddy.com and look at it, it'll tell you. I think you can buy to have it extra advertised or whatever, probably too. But I think it was free. So,
Well,
but
I'll go check it out then. Yeah.
okay.
My son just put his website up, and it was $40 for 2 years
Oh wow.
on GoDaddy.
Okay. I don't remember that.
I don't know if they have different levels that you can buy or not.
They may, because it seems like mine was
There might
free,
be a
but
free one.
yeah, but check it out, you guys, and I'll look too. And I know Dusty has hers. It was really easy too, and I love it. It's just fun just another fun one to kind of post and get to hashtag, and you get away with not posting your website, but you really are posting your website. So tricks.
And it's easy to redirect to your website.
It is, yes. And there's instructions how to do it on Lori Harrison's page. So I found it as soon as we changed over to the websites, and then it just told me step by step. And I have those of how to go in, and then I had to put in my shop, myplexus.com. So I just had to put in that new website, boom, it redirected. Very easy. So, yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments, you guys? Anything on posting social media? Anything else you guys can think of, or anything you guys want to add that's worked good for you to share with your teams or everybody too, or
Maybe just commenting on people's posts, not commenting, can I share this? Because we're putting it out there. Anybody can share anything that I put on Facebook or that you put on Facebook. And also not commenting something negative.
exactly. Yep.
Every now and then I get, and I've had my own ambassadors do it, where it's something that, they didn't experience or something. And so they'll comment that. And it's like, why did you even need to throw that out there?
That's right. So put it in a private message. Yep. Do not comment it on there. Exactly. Yep. I agree. Anything else? Anybody?
Gina, I got a quick question. I don't know if you got an answer or not.
Okay.
But I remember, maybe it was from Vince Orlick, but he talked about how you can go on your Facebook page and separate your Plexus friends and non-Plexus friends. Do you know where we could find that?
Ask my aunt. Tina, go for it.
Do that, Marcin. That is so awesome when you do. I was just going to suggest maybe for next meeting,
Okay.
talk about that a little bit. And
Okay.
I just went through and went to my my profile page and changed the status on a lot of my friends, because my feed was getting full of friends that I've had on there for a year or more, and they were filling up my feed. Does that make sense? You can go back there and change your friend status from close friends to acquaintance. And it gave me a whole new set of people in my feed.
Wow. Okay.
And it just was kind of getting stale, and I was getting there.
People in your feed, or
The same people over and over and over.
For
that's
that.
the way mine is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their status, and now I have new people.
And
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
and Tina has too. I'm trying to find it. And if any of you guys know, I can't remember. Is it in our? How do you guys? It was, remember where you can set it up, because Vincent did that, where you can do. You can set up the different groups. Remember that, where you can do non-Plexus friends. Oh, where is that?
I taught Edith how to do it, but I don't.
Okay.
Think was there a post somewhere?
I was just gonna say, and I'll figure it out. It's been a while since I've done it, but what they're talking about, you guys, too, is you can go on and there's a place where you can actually put your friends in different folders, and they come up in your groups or somewhere on there on your Facebook, and you can click on non-Plexus friends, and it fills up your whole news feed with your non-Plexus friends. And then you can have even one for Plexus. And then like a lot of people use that if they need some ideas for posting, and then they'll go there and then they'll look through all their Plexus friends. And that's a really good thing too, because it helps separate it. But the good thing about that, what Marston's asking, is because then you get to engage more too with your non-Plexus people, because I miss so much from my other friends because I have so much Plexus that I don't see posts from my non-Plexus friends. So I will post that, you guys, on how to do that exactly, step by step. Okay. Anything else you guys want to add? We good? Okay.
One thing that I have, Jeannie, is
yes.
I kind of find myself being a Plexus Facebook stalker.
We all are.
There's certain people on our team that know how to tell a story of normal life that's going on. And I do that because for some reason I get this block in creativity. Does anybody have any suggestions on how do you draw from things to make it interesting, to where you draw those people in
to make
and
it
tell a story about what your dog did today or whatever, you know?
I know.
I mean, something that's going to make somebody want to start looking at your stuff. I try to get ideas from all of you, but then when I sit down to write it, I get stuck, and I don't think I'm the only one that ever gets stuck.
No, and I'll let, because I'm sure other people have answers. And my suggestion is, Jane, and I've always been big about this, is being real and being yourself. So sometimes when you try too hard to, copy somebody else's, what they're doing or what they're, it doesn't work. And it doesn't sound like it's coming from you, because your friends and family know you, and they know when a post is you, and they know when it's not. That's, that happens a lot. So I always say, don't try too hard. And what you're writing is probably perfect, but you're trying to be more of somebody else. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but your post is trying to be, something that is coming from somebody else, when your post is just as good. But we're our own critics. I do the same thing with my posts, and I see everybody else's posts and I'm like, that is so amazing. How did they do that? I wish I could write like that. And then I get the same thing about some of my posts, and I know, it's the same thing. So my suggestion is, use a little bit of that stuff, but don't change it up too much to where it's not from you. And because your posts are great. So that's my
I'm not using other people's stuff. I'm trying to
get ideas,
tap into some creativity.
Exactly, which is good. And that's not a bad thing. And I know like Whitney and like Jimmy mentioned, Whitney and Kara and them have some, they can put a post together. It's amazing, their creativity and their mindset. So you can definitely, use some of theirs. I know if I copy some of what they're doing, people are going to totally know it's not me. So they're going to be like, that is so not you. So.
Well, and you know what else? I think we're all self-conscious with what we're doing. We feel like it's not good enough, because even though we look at what Whitney does and how amazing she is, and when you listen, oh, sorry, my child's screaming. When you listen to her speak, I mean, she just nails it. There's so much heart and so much passion in it, and you would never guess that she is scared to death when she's doing it.
Yep.
So I think we just need to be a little bit more positive about ourselves.
And confident. Yeah. And confident that it's a good post, and, but totally, Jane, I get it, because the creativity, I try to look for that too. And then I don't do good if I do. I just have to go back to, and I've done that before when I've tried to write like somebody else on my post, and it doesn't sound good. I go back and I'm like, no, I need to make it from me. This has got to come from me, and my wording and my, you know, how am I going to say this? I don't say hi y'all like everybody else on our upline, you know, it's hi guys, that's one of our biggest conversations, you know. So, it's just an example, but by copy and paste, everybody's gonna know it's not from me. Good, you know, it's so definitely, Jane. Just I think it's good to get ideas from those posts. Absolutely, I think that's a wonderful idea. But I say probably what you have wrote down, go ahead and post it, and you'll probably surprise yourself because you'll probably get some people that'll comment on it and actually like it. So I think that's good. But anybody else? I know we're running over time, but I'm glad we got
If it makes you feel any better, Jane, I have a whole book full of stuff that I never posted. So.
We all do. That's right. All right, you guys. Well, it's late. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys taking out the time tonight and helping share this. I will post the recording so you guys can share with your teams or whatever to hopefully help some of them. So, but everybody have a wonderful night, and December 1st tomorrow. So I'm excited. All right, you guys. Talk to you soon.